Today I'll be hiking the Walden Preserve. And we're off. And let's start this hike out with some immersion through the grass. Flowers. And we are coming up on our first turn. We're gonna go left onto Sunny's Trail. Look at how beautiful this is and listen to the birds. That little bee had no idea they landed a starring role in my hiking film. More flowers. How many times do I lean into flowers before you get tired of it? Never. Check out this little bug right here. Do you see it? The Walden Preserve is my absolute favorite local hiking trail. I love it because it's a loop trail. It has giant meadows, it has ponds, it has a river, it has a mountain laurel forest, it has a knife's edge walk that's amazing. And right over here is the blue trail. We're going to come back this way and go out there later to do that part of the loop. But for now, we are coming up on the first pond to our right. And let's walk down to it, shall we? Yes, we shall. We're kind of timing this a little off because I was away on my West Coast hiking trip. So right now, all the ducks and geese, the wild ducks and geese, are nesting on eggs, so we won't see them yet. But you can see them out here in spring. And then again, once the babies hatch. A little bench right here. All right, let's continue further down this trail because I have more to show you. I am loving the sound of these birds. I miss them so much in the redwoods. It was so quiet there. Okay, check this out. This right here is the end of the knife's edge portion of the trail system. We'll come out there later. I love this little peekaboo out into the sunshine right here. Look at this sandy trail. And then right up here, you can see it better in the fall. Off to the left, it's like a broken concrete bridge. I'll try to point it out right there. And then off to the right, there's like a little concrete broken building foundation or something right there. So you can check those out when you're here. And now we're getting close to the giant beaver pond here. And if you look around, you'll see some of the trees they've chewed down. There you go. Look at that. I should mention this is not a good trail to hike if it has rained a bit. It will flood out. Another swing over to the right. So you might want to give it a few days to dry out before you come visit. Up here you can hop over to the right and swing around, or you can play in these stepping stones. But see all this ahead of me? This all floods out after a rain. Okay, right up here is the knife's edge. We'll be taking that route on the way back. But for now, let's continue on down this path. We are coming up on the river, and how do I know? Because when it rages, it floods this whole part of the trail out. These rocks right here are like riverbed, and it is impassable. Like, it rushes that fast. It's dangerous. So don't try to cross it. Right now, it looks pretty harmless, but it comes right up over the top of this trail. I am not kidding you. You'll see it and turn back if you've made it this far. We've arrived at the meadow. We're gonna circle around this and then go up off into the woods and come back out through the Laurel Trail. So we'll be back here again later. Brace yourself for this, because if meadows aren't one of your favorite things, they will be now. Check this out. I love me a good meadow walk. I'm not going to want to splice any of this out. All right, I will. But not right now. I mean, look at this. Amazing. I am loving all these wildflowers along this trail. Yellows and purples. It's like a fireworks show, and I'm bringing you right into it. If you're using the All Trails app, it will tell you to take this right, but that trail actually gets pretty swampy and stays that way for a while after it rains. Plus, you miss out on the rest of the meadow hike. So I like to continue my way around and pick up the trail ahead, which will zigzag me back. Finishing up this meadow walk, and now I'm going to take this right. Thanks to the people who mow this, by the way. This is always so nice out here. I'm going to turn right up here, and you can see it's going to connect to where All Trails wanted me to go, which is right there. So if you took that trail and your feet are all soaking wet now, you're still here. If you know me at all, I love a forest with grass instead of underbrush. We are at the start of the Laurel Trail. Check out this perfect little hilltop with this happy little trail winding through the grass. Okay, Laurel Trail continues up ahead, but we're going to take this right because over here, dun 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 dun, is South Trail. And we'll be going this way. I will admit there are a few points in this trail system where they could really use some plank walks. And right here there's a bridge, but it doesn't connect all the way to trail. So you have to kind of hop on roots to get there. But now we've made it to Mountain Laurel, a nice tunnel. And this is just the start of it all. Try to hit this when it blooms, because then it is even more amazing. And coming up here, we're going to take a left. And it is blazed, so follow the blazes. Here we go. Ooh, I see one lingering bloom left. And now the point of our journey where we get to walk on pine needles. Nice soft bedding for our feet. Look at this. Look at this trail. It's like picture perfect trail. I love it out here so much. This is why it's my favorite place. Look at this giant pile over here though. It's like a Bigfoot burial. What am I talking about? I don't know. Let's keep walking. Look at this. Oh, here we're going to turn onto the Laurel Trail. Remember, we were on this before, but we took a little step off onto South Trail. So now we're reconnecting. And the breathtaking moments of this trail system continue on. Listen to the birds. Another Mountain Laurel tunnel. Look at this one. This one really is a tunnel. I love it. And you're going to love it too. So come out here and hike it. And this is not a strenuous hike at all. So do not hesitate to come out here. I'm just going to keep putting more clips of these tunnels in here because there's so many of them and they're so much fun. They don't call it the Laurel Trail for nothing. It looks like we are winding down to the end of the Laurel Trail, down this grassy hill. Look at how pretty it is. I love this trail system. There's Sunny's Trail, and over to our left is the meadow we circled around. See where you are? And now we're going to backtrack a little bit on Sunny's Trail. Go back over this river, which is fortunately under the trail today. And we came up here to the right. This is where we came out. And I showed you the knife's edge over here to the left. And now we're going to follow the knife's edge, which is my favorite part of this whole trail. Oh wait, didn't I say the meadow was my favorite part of the whole trail? Now there are a few portions of this knife's edge trail that are impassable after it rains. So again, give it some dry out time after a storm. Woohoo! That was a little more immersion for you. All right, we're about to step on the knife's edge itself. The balancing portion of this tour has begun. Look, there's a handrail. Look at that. And we do have a few planks to help us get over these areas that are probably too flooded to cross after it rains. But right now they're perfect. There's a lot of tadpoles down in that water, but they're too far away for me to zoom in on them for you. Look at all the lily flowers. So pretty out here. Here, let me give you a good glance to the left down here. And now a step to the right. As if the trail wasn't entertaining enough. Let's add a parody. Oh, climbing up. Look at this. So much fun. I'm just gonna wind along this knife's edge. See how great this trail is? And I very rarely see people out here. Of course, I go on weekdays, so. Beautiful ferns. And turning here to the right, sometimes goslings, ducklings in that water. Still in their egg now, though. It's not quite yet. In the meantime, let's fly down into these ferns. Woohoo! Do you hear that sound? Yep, we're coming up on another one of my favorite things. Right up here to the left, rushing water. Let's go down this slope to go show you and give you a better listen. We are back on the main trail again, but don't worry, this water is going to follow us along and accompany us on the knife's edge for quite a while. So we don't have to say goodbye to it yet. This is going to get a little bit like a roller coaster here now. And up again. And down again. Much like our meadow walk, I will not want to splice much of this footage out. It's just too much fun. And another little roller coaster. And there's our river still staying to the left of us. And all these ferns and so much perfection. It's a great trail. Look at that. Okay, let's keep going because the fun isn't over yet. More of this winding knife's edge. It's not a very straight knife. Now you see why I chose this trail as my first hike back from the West Coast. I mean, if you're going to leave the Redwoods and the Grand Canyons, you better come back to a really good trail. And this is that. As we say goodbye to ferns and hello to thick underbrush, we're coming up on our last glance to the left at the river. Bye-bye, river. But don't worry when saying goodbye to something great on this trail, because you'll just say hello to something else that's great. And I think we're coming up on it. Yep, there it is. A bridge. What's greater than a bridge? Let's get down to there. There we go. And now we're going to follow this little butterfly. Quick glance back at that bridge as we continue up the hill. And I showed you this before as we came out. I said, this is the knife's edge where we'll come out later. There we go. So we went that way on Sunny's trail to the right. Now we're going to backtrack on it to the left and head back to the unexplored Meadow Trail. There's another quick look at that pond we first looked at when we first came out with the bench. And continuing on. All right, I've jumped ahead for you a bit, and we're going to take this left, which I showed you earlier on the way out. Here we go. Blue trail to the right. And this will wind us around another meadow, which we love. More birds and flowers, and maybe we'll get lucky and see more butterflies. I don't know. Let's see what we can find. You want to go under or over? Choose quick. Over. Sometimes it's little things. And sometimes those little things are flowers. All right, we're at the end of the meadow walk. We're going to take this right turn, this mandatory right turn into the forest. Through a stone wall crossing. And more ferns and this beautiful winding trail. Want to go down in the ferns? Here we go. I love doing this for you. A little more. A little more. Ta-da! And now we're near someone's driveway. Do not cross over onto their driveway. And there's a sign right up here saying so. Let's be good neighbors. This small portion of trail right here could really use some help from the Boy Scouts. It's dry right now, but check out these sticks. Piled up to get through swamp. And now we're going to climb up on this and then do some jumping and leaping. But a plank walk would be ideal out here. Stonewall crossing, back up into the first meadow. Sunny's trail, where we first saw the sign, is up here to the right. But we're going to go left and circle around to the other end of the parking lot. Because I happen to know, aside from grass immersion, there are also beautiful flowers. Here we go. See? Zoom in on these for you. Dainty little purple flowers. Another peekaboo out into the light. And there's the meadow. Look at that. It's a great way to end a hike, right? Need to enjoy our final few moments here today. Give you a good sweeping look around. There we go, following this beautifully mown trail. Again, thanks to whoever's doing the maintenance here. This was an incredible hike. And if you want to do a second lap, take this right because it will bring you back to the Sunny's Trail sign. And this left will bring us back to the parking lot. I only have time for one lap today, so I took the left. Enjoy this final bit of grass. Aww. Don't you hate it when it's over? Coming up on one of my favorite things. That's right. The duck car. 4.1 miles.
Things aren't scary, Salem